Okay, if I were to look back on my entire English learning journey, this is how it all began. For about 6 to 8 months, I worked so hard as a complete beginner, learning English through the script of friends. This method helped me improve both my vocabulary and speaking skills in a very effective way.
Here, I need to borrow some moisturizer.
For what?
What do you think? Today's the big day.
I need to borrow some moisturizer. For what? What do you think? Today's the big day. What do you think? Today is the big day. I need to borrow some moisturizer. For what? What do you think? Today is the big day.
God. Oh, okay, go into the bathroom, use whatever you want. Just don't ever tell me what you did in there.
Thank you.
Oh God. Okay. Go into the bathroom and use whatever you want. Just don't ever tell me what you did in there. Once I had a solid foundation with friends, I began making my own sentences and speaking more confidently. But honestly, by the end of those 8 months, I started to get a little bit bored of learning English with friends. More importantly, my vocabulary was still quite limited, and I knew I had to work on that. So I decided to switch things up. I started learning English with different TV shows like House of Cards and The Crown. By practicing with these two shows, I was killing two birds with one stone. Constantly learning new words, drastically improving my vocabulary, while still practicing my speaking skills every single day.
What's up? We've got a copy of the administration's education bill. You're going to work with Zoe, do background coverage.
Zoe Barnes? Right here.
We've got a copy of the administration's education bill. You're gonna work with Zoe and do background cover Zoe Barnes. Zoe Barnes. You're gonna work with Zoe and do background cover Zoe Barnes. Zoe Barnes, right here.
Right here. Tom, I am your chief political correspondent.
Go! I want this by tomorrow.
But I need to focus on the inauguration.
This is more important.
Tom, I am your chief political correspondent. Go, I want this by tomorrow. But I need to focus on the inauguration. Learning English with TV shows like House of Cards and The Crown wasn't as efficient as learning English with sitcoms, but it was a fantastic way for picking up more advanced vocabulary. After learning English with House of Cards and The Crown, it felt like my English was good enough to a point where I could easily speak English. But then I wanted to make videos in English on YouTube, and I realized that even though I had started speaking English way better compared to a year and a half ago, I wasn't speaking like American native speakers. Talk a little bit about the mistakes I was doing earlier in my studying process. You know what mistakes I was doing? I was trying to learn English, trying to memorizing words and making translation and doing reading practices. And I'm telling you, these are the worst mistakes you can ever do. I always thought with those methods I was going to be able to speak fluently, I was going to be able to learn English properly, comprehensively. But if you're working with those methods, you will never be able to learn English comprehensively, properly. Because making translation, that means, you have to be really good at in your native language, not in English. Because when you just try to learn English, making translation, you'll be thinking in your native language, and that's the problem. Because if you really want to be able to speak fluently, you have to think in English, and making translation prevents you from doing that, and that's a serious problem. Like, while American YouTubers were easily creating content in their own language, I wasn't having the easiest time when it comes to creating my own content in English. From that point on, I had a new mission. I should have got closer to the way American YouTubers were speaking. So by that reasoning, I started practicing with YouTubers and then the vloggers. Welcome to my second ever moving vlog.
Welcome to my second ever moving vlog.
Yes, I'm moving. About a year and a half ago, my voice is cracked. We just found out that the sun sets into my apartment.
We just found out the sun sets into my apartment.
I think that this museum experience really opened my eyes to the fact that actually museums are kind of fun.
That museum experience really opened my eyes to the fact that actually museums are kind of fun.
They're not fun, that's not the right word, but they're amusing. They're like relaxing and amusing.
They're not fun, that's not the right word. They're not fun, that's not the right word. They're amusing. They're like relaxing and amusing. They're not fun, that's not the right word.
It is now almost 8 p.m. I'm going to make some hot chocolate.
It is now almost 8 p.m. and I'm going to make some hot chocolate.
This mug is from Target and it's the cutest thing I've ever seen.
This mug is from Target and it's the cutest thing I've ever seen. In the second year of my English learning journey, there was a point during that year when I felt completely overwhelmed and bored of learning English. Being stuck at home because of COVID made me feel desperate at times. I didn't know what to do next, and then I found a solution. I started learning English with talk shows featuring my favorite actors, artists, and celebrities. That gave me a fresh breath of air and reignited my motivation to keep learning and practicing. In this video, I will try to explain to you guys why I practice English with the scripts of talk shows, how talk shows help you to improve your speaking skill and learn new words, and at which level you might practice with talk shows. Now, during COVID, during quarantine, I practiced with many talk shows.
So many things I want to ask you.
Okay.
But one is about your skunk situation. What's going on? I heard that you got...
straight to that one.
I have so many things I want to ask you, but the one is about your skunk situation. What's going on? I heard that you got... Oh, just straight to that one. Oh, just straight to that one.
Well, I mean, I read some article where you said like this is like the third or fourth time you got sprayed by a skunk.
I read some article where you said like this is like your third or fourth time that you got sprayed by a skunk.
Time you got sprayed by a skunk?
It happens all the time.
Dakota, what are you talking about? How does this happen?
It happens all of the time. So I mean, it happens all of the time. Dakota, what are you talking about? Dakota, what are you talking? Dakota, what are you talking about? One of the main reasons why I did that was because I get this excuse from time to time where sometimes I get bored, or I don't feel motivated, or I get boredom. During my English learning process, there were so many times I wanted to give up on learning English, and there were so many times I felt so bored, extremely bored. So I was feeling so bored and so stuck. So this is why I was like, okay, I need to do something about that. I need to find a way to keep going. I need to find a way to keep practicing English, but I feel so bored, so I need to find a solution. So you can see me, I practice with Billie Eilish many times. I practice with Miley Cyrus.
He goes like this and he goes, babe, I'm just dominating the evacuation. Look at it. I got the pigs in the back. They're in the crate.
Babe, I'm just dominating the evacuation. Look at it. I got the pigs in the back. They're in the crates.
And I said, how did you get the pigs in the crates? And he actually had to spray them with the hose, in the butt to make them run into the back of the truck.
And I said, how did you get the pigs in the crates? And I said, how did you get the pigs in the crates? And he actually had to spray them with the hose in the butt. Why do you think that I practice with them? The reason why I practice with them was because in 2020, you know that it was one of the biggest year for Billie Eilish. At the time, I was listening to Billie Eilish like a crazy person, like every single day. I was spending every single of my day dancing to her music, binge watching her videos on YouTube. And I thought to myself, since I like Billie Eilish, since I like Miley Cyrus, since I love hearing their voice, since I love listening to them, I thought to myself, okay, I need to take advantage of that. So this is why I used to download the scripts of those YouTube videos, and I used to practice with Billie Eilish. I used to practice with this talk show where Miley Cyrus was the guest. So this is why there was a period in my life I practiced with talk shows, because obviously talk shows were fun. In general, throughout my whole English learning process, when I practiced with friends, with House of Cards, with The Crown, with Peter McKinnon, Case Neistat, Kennedy Walsh, and talk shows, like I used so many sources. And the reason why I constantly shifted throughout my English learning process and preferred to practice with different sources, with different content, with different characters, artists, and all that stuff, content creators, was because I was feeling so bored after a while. Okay guys, as I was editing this video right now, I just want to make something very clear. Yes, I was getting bored, so this is why I was making shifts, I was making changes in my English learning journey. But the second reason, another reason why I was making those shifts, I was making those changes, was because I also got this constant desire to improve myself. After practicing with friends for about 15 episodes, I reached a point in my English learning journey where I was like, I wasn't making so much progress in terms of improving my vocabulary. So this is why I started practicing with House of Cards, so that I can improve my vocabulary. And after practicing with House of Cards, yes, I got bored of practicing with House of Cards, and I started practicing with The Crown. So I always got this urge, I always got this desire to improve myself. Then I started practicing with YouTubers, because I decided to start my YouTube channel, and I thought to myself, I want to make a YouTube video, and I want my YouTube videos to look natural, and I want to make YouTube videos where I speak very naturally, very fluently, like an American YouTubers, so that I can easily make YouTube videos. And this is why I got this desire to consume so many YouTube content. I'm practicing with those YouTubers so that I can speak like a native speaker. And then I reached a point where I was really bored of practicing English, and I was feeling very stuck, and I was very bored of practicing English with YouTubers, and I got this desire to practice with talk shows so that I can enjoy my process, I can have fun. As I kept feeling bored and giving up learning English, I tried to force myself to come up with a solution. I tried to find a way to enjoy the process, enjoy learning English, enjoy practicing English. If I have to rate talk shows in terms of how it helped me improve my English, I would say in terms of speaking English, I would give 7 out of 10. In terms of learning new words, I would say 6 out of 10. In terms of my English level, I would say don't learn English if you're a beginner, or if you're an intermediate level, or if you're somewhere between those levels. Only practice with talk shows if you are between intermediate or advanced level.